Hello, Tom Frezza here from the Naval History and Heritage Command, and today we are again going to be cooking with history with a recipe out of the 1945 edition of the Cookbook of the United States Navy. And the recipe we'll be focusing on today is salmon cakes. We are cooking salmon cakes in honor of Vice Admiral Samuel Lee Gravely Jr. today. And now, as you see, he was the first African American in the U.S. Navy to serve aboard a fighting ship as an officer. The first to command a U.S. Navy ship, the first fleet commander, and the first to become, 50 years ago this year, a flag officer. And he retired as a vice admiral. Now, in speaking with his family, he was also known to cook different meals at home, with his favorite being salmon cakes. Now, when we heard about the salmon cakes, we wanted to look through the Navy's cookbooks to see if there were any inspirational recipes for him that he may have used in his recipe at home. And we actually found one that's kind of that salmon cake recipe in the 1945 edition of the cookbook. And you actually have to look for not salmon cake, but salmon loaf. Now, salmon loaf is kind of like a meatloaf, but with salmon. But there's an option there to make salmon croquettes, which are basically like salmon cakes. You would take the mixture from the salmon loaf and basically turn it into little patties, bread it, and then fry it up. So we're going to go through the recipe, tell you what the portions originally were for the 100 portions, and then what the scaled down version is, so you can try this at home and honor Admiral Gravely. And if you have an edition of the cookbook, the recipe is found on page 103. So the ingredients that you'll need are salmon, canned, originally 3 gallons. We'll be using about 16 ounces. Next up is celery diced, originally 1 quart. We'll be using half a cup. Next is onions chopped, originally 1.5 pints. We'll be using 1/4 of a cup and 1/8 of a cup. Next, butter. Originally 1 pint, we'll be using 1/4 of a cup. Next, you'll need milk and salmon liquor. Originally half a gallon, we'll be using half a cup. Next on the list, breadcrumbs, dry. Originally 1 gallon, we'll be using 1 cup. Next, salt. Originally 2 tablespoons, we'll be using 1 teaspoon. Next is pepper. Originally 1 tablespoon, we'll be using half a teaspoon. Next is Tabasco sauce. Originally 1 tablespoon, we'll be using half a teaspoon. Then you'll need lemon juice. Originally 1 pint, we'll be using 1/4 of a cup. Then you'll need lemon rind, grated. Originally 1/4 of a cup, we'll be using 1.5 teaspoons. Then you'll need egg yolks, beaten. Originally 24, we'll be using 3. And then egg whites, beaten stiffly. Originally 24, we'll be using 3. All right, with all of those ingredients, here is the makeup. First, drain the salmon and reserve the liquor. Remove any bones and skin and flake it. Fry the celery and onions in fat until clear, and then combine the salmon, celery, onions, milk, and breadcrumbs. Stir in salt, pepper, Tabasco sauce, lemon juice, lemon rind, and egg yolks, and mix it well. Fold in the egg whites. Pack the mixture well in greased baking pans. Well, that is for if you're doing the salmon loaf. So let's look at the salmon croquettes option. Chill salmon mixture thoroughly. Make croquettes using number 16 scoop, basically kind of making small patty. Shape and crumb for frying. Chill thoroughly. Fry in hot, deep fat at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 5 minutes or until golden brown. And that's it. So we have a lot of stuff that we need to do to get this ready. So we're going to dive into this recipe and see how it turns out. While our salmon cakes are done, we have them plated here on our World War II U.S. Navy mess tray, along with some potatoes and Brussels sprouts. And really, all that's left to do now is give it a try. So get a piece here and see how it is. You know what? That's actually pretty good. I was thinking with the canned salmon, it wouldn't really taste that good, but let me tell you, it's not that bad. We cooked it in olive oil. That's the fat that we fried it in, so I think that kind of helps with the flavor. But the salmon's not bad. You get the taste of the onions in there as well, and you get the little kick of Tabasco that really helps it too. So before I sit down and enjoy the rest of this, hopefully we did Admiral Gravely proud, and it's another pretty good recipe out of the 1945 edition of the Cookbook of the United States Navy. If you would like more information on this and Admiral Gravely, please visit the website of the Naval History and Heritage Command, history.navy.mil, and we'll see you at our next cooking lesson.